If you don't have your business partner or your spouse aligned with your goals, you're never going to get there. I don't care how great of an entrepreneur you are. I don't care if you're, the best salesperson. If whatever it is, you have a goal that way. And if you have a partner, and like I said, whether it's your spouse or your business partner is going that way and you want to go that way, guess what? You guys are going to go right here because they're going to tug, he's going to tug, and you're never going where you need to end up at. And that was something that I learned with Bobby from the very beginning. And I was very young. I didn't understand all these things. So trust me, I did not do this at the very beginning. We tugged at each other many, many times. That's why, at the very beginning when we first met, we didn't ever get to be successful in, the blink of the eye. No, you can't. It's impossible. It does not happen. Being an entrepreneur, being in business is not that easy. If it was, we would all be there. We would all get to that top line really easy, but it's not. So you gotta make sure that you guys are aligned. No matter if it's in a different business, if it's in the same business, it does not matter. The end goal is what matters. And you need that helping hand. You need that person that when you're going, if you're falling, that they're right there to pick you up, push you up, and go. So. Oh, wow. This one, my husband's probably laughing right now. Manage time. Oh my God. That is something that I struggle all my life with. I love to do everything. I love to be with everybody. I'm a little energizing bunny. And my managing of time, oh my Lord. At the very beginning when I married Bobby, we fought. I think this was probably one of our biggest problems that we had in our marriage, because Bobby's a very focused, driven, he has tasks and he writes down every single thing that he's gonna do. Bobby writes it down on a notebook. He has 1,000 notebooks that he has in his backpack. And if you see it, and he won't leave the office until he answers a call. His time management is amazing. That's one thing that he has, not me. But it's okay, I know that. And what do? I struggle with it, but I am aware of it. I'm able to understand that that's one of my defaults. And I struggle, but I also know it, so I work at it on a daily basis, guys. I'm 50 years old and I'm still struggling with managing my time. But I am aware and I do this. So what I'm gonna encourage you all to do, and you know what, Marisol, where are you at? Stand up, please. Marisol she worked for us for BHG. And when we left BHG, she exited, and I've been mentoring her for many, many years. And she went out and she's become a commercial realtor with Miller Chaps, which is one of the biggest in commercial real estate. But why I'm bringing her up, she's a single mom of 4 girls. That girl's a beast with management time. She wakes up. If you see her management time skills, she writes down every single thing from time to time. She wakes up at 5 in the morning. She works out. She already has her time from 5 to 7. At 7:30, she wakes up her daughter. At 8 o'clock, she's feeding her. At 9 o'clock, she's teaching her. She homeschools her youngest daughter, and she is a commercial broker, okay? Manage time, that beast right there is amazing. I'm not. So it's not that it's a bad thing, it's just being aware of it. Making sure, and I'm gonna encourage you guys, whether it's on your phone, whether it's a notebook, whatever it is, sit down and do your management time for the week, even if it's a day at a time. Sit down and say, okay, you know what, and especially for us whoever have kids, that's the hardest when you have the kids. Write down when you're gonna wake up. I'm a big fitness person. I need my workout in the mornings in order for me to function. So my workout is sacred. my 7 to 8 o'clock or 8 to 9, sometimes it varies. Don't book any kind of meetings. Don't book my grandkids that I adore. My daughter tries to ask me to help her in the morning to take the kids. I'm like, sorry. That's one thing that I do have managed really well. But manage your time. Say, I'm gonna wake up at 7 in the morning, at 5, whatever time you wanna wake up, guys. And I don't believe in this whole wake up at 4 in the morning to be productive. That's not me, and I don't think that everybody should live your life on that 4 in the morning. That's not gonna make you a great entrepreneur. For some, it works. Albert loves to wake up at 4 in the morning. He's already used to that. He likes it. It gets him productive, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean that needs to be you. Don't let nobody tell you that you have to wake up at 4 in the morning to be a great entrepreneur. That is not true. But you do need to have management time. So schedule out your week, your day. Try it out. See if it works for you. I mean, that's the only thing that works for me. If I didn't have a schedule, I would be all over the place. I've done it before, and I was a mess. So it's awesome to be able to get it all in one day. Do everything you want. Be a great business person. Be a great parent. Be a great spouse. Be a great partner. Do it all. You could do it. It's just a matter of being focused and wanting it. Okay, so now we're gonna get into relationship and how to make it successful, and how Bobby and I have been able to do this for 31 years. We met when I was 18 years old and he was 23 years old. We were babies. We didn't even know nothing. We were super young. But one thing my mom always taught me, she's like, you're gonna get married this young, you haven't even lived life, you gotta make sure that you give time to that relationship, because if not, you're going nowhere. So there's a thing that's called the 7-7 rules, and I didn't invent this, guys. This is something that's out there that's real. It's, I got it from a website that I follow a lot. And it says you have to take a date night every 7 days. It doesn't matter, a lot of people, but we don't have money to go out on a date now. I don't have money to go to this expensive restaurant, or we don't have the time because we have a babysitter. Well, guess what? If you do have kids and you don't have a babysitter, put them to sleep at 6 at night or 7 at night. Stay home, but have a date night. Go outside, do a candlelight dinner, cook dinner together. And that date night, you decide what you want to talk about. There's times that Bobby and I, the date night is talking about business. But you know what? That's what makes us happy. That's what connects us sometimes. Or there's times that we talk about what's bothering us. What is it that's bothering you on this relationship? What is it that, or maybe you want to talk about, that you want to have a romantic vacation, or that, the business that we're in, something's going wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. I need advice from you, or vice versa. So that date night, you determine, and make sure that you mark it down. That's sacred. Bobby and I have been doing that for 31 years. And there's many times that we take date nights with my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law. We go off 4 and we sit down, and what do? We talk about real estate. My sister-in-law loves to talk about real estate. We love to talk. But that's okay too. You determine what that date night's supposed to be. It doesn't matter. It's as long as you're together and you're interacting with one another. The other one is every 7 weeks, take an overnight vacation. If that means that you can't go to a hotel, or that you can't go, take the kids and have your in-laws, your mother, your family members, have them take the babies, the kids out of the house, and make your home a vacation. Go in your pool, do candle night. I mean, whatever you want. Don't make excuses that you can't go and spend a weekend together because you don't have money, or because you don't have nobody to take care of your kids. And for those that don't have kids or don't have a spouse, make this a rule also. Go talk to your business partner. Go take a vacation by yourself. Go see who you are. I know I don't like to be alone, so I'm saying this, but I'm a person that loves to be with either my family, my husband, my friends, whatever it is, but it is very important. And I'm gonna, touch on something like this. Bobby and myself recently got COVID about a month ago or something like that, and we were isolated for 15 days because Bobby was really sick and we couldn't leave the house. I had to be alone by myself because Bobby was so sick that he didn't even have energy to go outside. So I was going nuts. I needed to get out of the house. I was like, oh my God, I can't take this no more. I have to see people. So I would go on walks by myself. I haven't done that and I can't even tell you how long. So don't bring the excuse that you don't have a spouse or you don't have a business partner. This is also for people that need to get to know themselves, to be able to see what you want, what you need. Sometimes we're so busy that we don't even understand what we want or need. And that's super important in order to be successful on anything you do in life, because if you're not happy inside, there's no way you're gonna be happy out. Every 7 months, take a vacation, an actual vacation. Go and do something extremely fun. Go get to know each other. Let go of the world. And in that one, I would tell you, don't talk about business. Don't think about being an entrepreneur. Go let go of all that stress, all of that energy. Let it go and go have a good time. Because if you can't balance your life in having fun, when you're in the business situation, you're so stressed out that there's no way, sometimes you're fogged up, you can't even think. So these are things that Bobby and I have always done in our relationship, always. We make it a point to be able to get out and connect with one another. And sometimes you talk about nonsense, sometimes you talk about real stuff, sometimes, whatever it is, but just do it, guys. If you want a good relationship to last, to be able to succeed in business, it's super important for you to be able to be, in with your partner. And again, whether it's your business partner or your relationship, but do it. You're gonna see what it does. It's Bobby and I, 31 years, and this is what we live by, so. So I already talked about the date night. I didn't, oh, this one's very, very important, and Bobby touched on it today in his speech. But being affectionate, guys. Act like, sometimes when you feel like, oh my God, I'm frustrated. I don't know if I want to be in this relationship. I'm not excited no more. I don't feel like, whatever, it's okay. Remember the first day you met. Remember what you fell in love with. Remember who that person was. What was that tingle that you got when you first met that person? And that affection, trust me, it goes far. It makes your relationship, you feel like if it's alive again. When you feel that down, it brings you right up. Being affection, Bobby always says we text each other. He texts me, I text him. And out of the blues, it's no big deal. Hey babe, I just wanted to tell you I love you. That's simple. You don't understand what that does to you. That brings this thing in you that you're like, wow, that feels good. But you have to do it too. You gotta give it back. Because if you don't give it back, that other person, your spouse, is gonna say, well, what the hell? They don't care. Why am I sending out text messages or leaving a little note on the bed or in the kitchen? Anything, any little thing that sparks up that relationship, it's extremely important. Dream with one another. And guys, I'm not talking about dreaming and let me just dream about my wife. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about dreaming of like what you want out of your personal, what you want out of your business, what you want from your relationship. Bobby and I used to daydream all the time. When I first met Bobby, we used to get in the car and go see models at these, homes. We wanted to get in real estate so bad. We didn't know how to. We didn't have the money. But we used to go daydream all the time. We knew that we were going to be in real estate when? We didn't know. But we used to go see models all the time. Walk them, sit there, daydream. My kids, we used to get them in, Brandon was already wasn't born, but my daughter, we used to take her to construction sites. Drive her, put her in the back car. She used to cry. She's like, why do I need to do this? I don't want to do this. Take me home. But you know what? We were daydreaming. We were saying, this is what we want one day. This is where we want to be, and we didn't know that it was going to be a multifamily. We had no clue about multifamily. All we knew is that we wanted to be in real estate because everybody in real estate was always very successful. They had like a good business or whatever it was that we just found that was what we wanted. But guess what, guys? Where are we today? We're there. We daydreamed all day long. And you know what? We did it together. And if you guys are not in the same business, or one spouse is the entrepreneur and the other spouse has a job, that's okay too. You could still daydream what you want for your goals in life. You're together, you're one. And if you're not with a spouse, like I keep on implementing, you still have goals, you still have dreams that you need. So you still do this. And if you have a business partner and no spouse, do this with your business partner. What do you want out of your business? You're here today, but you always want to get climbing up those stairs. You always want to get to the top, and the top is like almost never ending. You could always do better. So, make sure that you daydream with your spouse, your partners, your goals in life. It's extremely important to do that. Bobby's always talking about manifesting, PMA, and when I first met him, and he would tell me, we're going to manifest this. We're going to do this. you have to have a positive mental attitude. And I would look at him like, okay, whatever. I'm like, manifesting? What? Like, oh yeah, I want this and it's just going to come about. I didn't believe it at the very beginning. I was too young, and also I didn't have the mindset. But as the years went on, that I would see that everything he said that he wanted to do, we would do it. And at the very beginning, there were very little small things because we didn't have any kind of money to be able to do what he was dreaming. But we would manifest it. We would talk about it. We would sit there. We would set goals. And we were able to accomplish so much by doing this. There's a book out there that's called The Secret. I don't know if any of you have read it. My brother-in-law turned me on to that, Eric, turned me on to that book. And when I read that book is when I understood everything that my husband was trying to tell me to do. But I was following his footsteps, so it didn't really matter. I was just doing whatever he was doing, and I was seeing that things were happening. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. But when I read that book, I recommend it to whoever hasn't read it to read that book. It's amazing. It really brings it to tuition. Ooh, this one's a hard one. Practice forgiveness. Guys, this was extremely, extremely hard for me. And I'm not talking about just to forgive and not to forget. That's hard. I'm a victim of this. At the very beginning, it was so hard for me to say sorry or to practice forgiveness. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. There's not one person in this room that can't say that they don't make mistakes. So you have to make sure that you practice forgiveness for yourself, because all that brings is negative energy. And when you have negative energy in your life, there's no way that you could bring out anything positive. Everything you do seems to always turn out bad because all that anger, anything that you have, whether it's with your spouse or your business partner or with life itself, you have to learn to be able to forgive so that you could have that positive energy, so that you could get things clear and get things done in the right way. I'm terrible at saying sorry or forgiving. I'm Cuban. I don't know if any of you Latins out here, I'm extremely hard, like, I have to say sorry. I have to say it's my fault. It's awful. Bobby and he's always telling me that, like, you have to learn how to, be apologetic, but it's hard. It's not easy. But let me tell you something, when you do it, what you're gonna get out of it, it's for you, again, forget about who you're saying sorry to or apologizing to. It's you, it's inside. It's what's gonna bring out of you that positive energy, that you're not gonna have that inside just in your gut, like sitting there, like, oh, I'm mad. They say that there's a couple that I follow that they say it's called the hangover, the forgiveness hangover. When you hold on to not forgiving somebody, it just brings you completely apart. It just brings you like this. because you can't, you're holding that in there. And in business, guys, the same thing. This is the exact same thing. You have a business partner and you don't like the way they do things, and you're like, oh man, but I'm working all day, and he's sitting there doing nothing, and da-da-da-da. That you just do this. Where's the business gonna go? Absolutely nowhere. So, make sure that you practice forgiveness. It's extremely important for you. Okay, so knowing your business and outsourcing your task. So this is something that I learned in BHG. When you're an entrepreneur, you need to make sure that you delegate. You cannot do it all. It's impossible. You can't be good at everything. No one in this room, not even the speakers, nobody can be perfect at everything. So you gotta make sure that you let go of the tasks that you're not good at and hire the very, very, very best. You need to be able to let go of your ego and make sure that when you hire or you delegate, that you're gonna delegate to somebody that's gonna do it absolutely perfect, better than you. They're gonna teach you their job because you're not doing that job, it's that's their responsibility. So whoever's gonna take that task on, make sure they're gonna do it at 100%. So hire the best. And this also goes for you couples out there with hiring cleaning ladies, nannies, chef, whatever it is that you need to hire so that your relationship, so that your businesses are able to take off. Because if you're an entrepreneur and you have business and you don't want to pay that person to come in to clean your house because, oh my God, I could clean my house better than they can. Well, guess what? You just took up 2 or 3 hours of your time that you could have been making hundreds, millions, I don't know, whatever it is. But because you think that you could do it all, that you think that you're the best at everything, guess what? You just lost a huge opportunity in your business. So Sil, at the very beginning when I met Sil, this was something that me and her spoke a lot about, because she didn't want to let go of the babies, right? They're babies, I don't want to let go of them, but I need to stay home. Now I can't get to the office. How do you do it? I can't get to the office till noon because the babies. Well, what was she doing? She was losing a lot of time. And the babies were going to be there. They're not going nowhere. Yeah, you do lose a little bit of time with them, but what are you doing? You're able to create generational wealth for these kids that you're leaving behind. And you single people that are out there that don't have a spouse, and you can't clean your house because you're a business, or you don't have to let go of anything. Like I said, you could do it all. You could do it all. It's just a matter of doing it right.